When the last human fell, darkness covered Earth. The alien invaders had won, or so they thought. Captain Han stood at the command center window, his tired eyes scanning the burning skyline of Seoul. Once a vibrant metropolis, now just smoke and ruins. The Orion collective ships hovered above the city like massive metal clouds, their weapons silent now that there was little left to destroy. "Sir, we lost contact with Commander Kim's team," reported Officer Min, her voice trembling, despite her military training. "They were the last active defense unit in the city." Han nodded slowly. For 3 months, humanity had fought against the unexpected invasion. 3 months of watching Earth's greatest cities fall one by one: Tokyo, New York, London, Cairo, and now Seoul, one of the final bastions. "Any word from the Himalayan base?" Han asked, though he already knew the answer. "Nothing for 6 hours, sir. Their emergency beacon went silent at 0400. Han walked to the central console where a global map displayed a sea of red indicators. Each one represented a fallen outpost, a silenced military base, or an overrun civilian shelter. There were no green lights left. "Begin final verification protocols," Han ordered. The bunker's advanced systems hummed as they connected to the few remaining satellites. Data streamed in: atmospheric readings, radiation levels, surveillance footage from dead cities. The computer compiled and analyzed, searching for any sign of human life outside their mountain bunker. Officer Min's fingers moved across her keyboard, tears silently rolling down her face. "Verification complete, sir. No human life signs detected beyond our bunker." Han closed his eyes briefly. As the highest-ranking officer in what was possibly the last human outpost, the next decision fell to him. Protocol Phoenix, a classified program known only to a select few military leaders. "What about the other bunkers? The underwater habitats?" he asked, though it was merely a delay of the inevitable. "All gone, sir." "The Orions found them all," replied Officer Min. "We're it." The bunker shook as explosions sounded in the distance. The enemy had found them too. It was only a matter of time. Han walked to a sealed panel on the far wall. He pressed his palm against it and a hidden compartment opened, revealing a single red button protected by a fingerprint scanner and retinal verification system. "Sir?" Officer Min looked confused. "Protocol Phoenix," Han explained quietly. "Our last hope." A loud bang echoed through the bunker as something heavy hit the outer blast doors. "They're here," whispered Officer Min. Han nodded grimly. "When I activate this, I need you to destroy all records of it. The Orions can never know." "What exactly is Protocol Phoenix, sir?" "Insurance," Han replied. "Something put in place decades ago, when we first discovered we weren't alone in the universe." The blast doors groaned under another impact. "Whatever happens, humanity will have its revenge," Han said. He placed his eye against the scanner, then his thumb on the fingerprint pad. For the Phoenix to rise, humanity must fall completely. That's why the protocol couldn't be activated until now. The computer voice announced, "Protocol Phoenix requires verbal confirmation of human extinction event." Han took a deep breath. "I, Captain Han Do-yoon, confirm that humanity faces extinction. All major population centers have fallen. All military forces have been defeated. The enemy believes victory is complete." The scanner glowed green. Protocol Phoenix activated. Deep beneath the Earth's surface, in hidden facilities across the globe, thousands of stasis pods began their awakening sequence. Inside each pod was a genetically enhanced super soldier created for this single purpose: to avenge humanity and reclaim Earth should the worst come to pass. The bunker shook violently. Dust fell from the ceiling. "They're breaking through," Officer Min said, her voice steady now that the decision was made. Han nodded. "Destroy everything. They can't know what we've done." As Min rushed to purge the systems, Han drew his sidearm. They would not be taken alive. They would not reveal secrets under torture. "It was an honor serving with you, sir," Min said as she completed the data wipe. The blast doors gave way with a terrible screech of metal. Alien figures moved in the dust and smoke, weapons raised. For Earth, Han said, raising his weapon. For those who will follow us. The last humans fell defending the secret of sleeping Avengers, who even now were beginning to stir. Earth's story was far from over. Cold. That was Colonel Park G's first feeling after 50 years of dreamless sleep. The stasis pod hissed open, releasing a cloud of white vapor. Her lungs burned as she took her first breath, coughing violently as her body remembered how to function. System reboot complete. Good morning, Colonel Park, said a calm computer voice. Protocol Phoenix has been activated. Park blinked away the blur in her vision. The underground chamber was dimly lit by emergency lights. Rows of stasis pods lined the walls, their glass covers sliding open one by one. Other soldiers were waking up, disoriented and confused. Park tried to stand, but her legs gave way. 5 decades of muscle disuse, even with the preservation chemicals, had taken their toll. She gripped the edge of her pod and forced herself upright, feeling the enhanced strength in her modified body slowly returning. Status report, she demanded, her voice hoarse from disuse. A tall man approached, already dressed in a black uniform. His movements were stiff but purposeful. Lieutenant Lee, reporting, Colonel. Protocol Phoenix was activated 6 hours ago. Confirmation of total human extinction received. Park's mind raced to process this information. The Phoenix program had been Earth's ultimate contingency plan. 5,000 genetically enhanced soldiers, placed in stasis to be awakened only if humanity faced complete extinction. How long? She asked. 53 years, 2 months, 14 days since we entered stasis, Lee replied. The invasion began 3 months ago. The aliens called themselves the Orion Collective. Park nodded slowly, memories flooding back. She had volunteered for the program in 2127, after scientists discovered signals from an approaching alien fleet. Most people had dismissed the threat, but military leaders prepared in secret. Show me, she ordered. Lee led her to a central command station where screens displayed satellite images of Earth. Cities lay in ruins. Massive alien structures dotted the landscape. The skies were filled with strange ships. They believe they've won, Lee explained. They have no record of our existence. The Phoenix program was kept off all digital records. Park studied the images with growing anger. Wake the others, all of them. Throughout the facility, medical teams were helping newly awakened soldiers. Dr. Nam approached Park with a tablet. Colonel, your body's enhancements are functioning above expected parameters, Dr. Nam said. The extended stasis seems to have strengthened the genetic modifications. Park flexed her hand, noticing how her muscles seemed denser than before. The Phoenix soldiers had been enhanced with increased strength, accelerated healing, and improved neural processing. These advantages would be crucial against the technologically superior invaders. What about our weapons? Park asked. Lee guided her to an armory where special suits and weapons waited in sealed containers. Everything is intact. The facility remained undetected throughout the invasion. Park touched one of the combat suits. It responded to her touch, lighting up with a soft blue glow. And the other facilities? We've established contact with 3 other Phoenix bases, Lee reported. Asia, Europe, and South America. Approximately 4,000 soldiers successfully awakened. Not all had survived the long sleep. Park pushed away the grief. There would be time for mourning later. A soldier approached with new information. Colonel, we've intercepted alien communications. They're converting Earth's atmosphere to match their homeworld. Park's jaw tightened. Time estimate? At current rate, Earth will be uninhabitable for human biology within 1 year. Park addressed the growing group of awakened soldiers. Listen carefully. Humanity has fallen, but we remain. We are the last of Earth's defenders and its only hope. The enemy believes they've won because they don't know about us. The soldiers stood straighter, determination replacing their initial confusion. We are not just fighting to survive. Park continued. We are fighting to reclaim our world and perhaps someday rebuild our species. She walked to a large map table that displayed Earth's current situation. Our advantages are secrecy and surprise. The enemy doesn't know we exist. We'll use that against them. Park marked several locations on the map. We'll establish contact with all Phoenix bases and coordinate our efforts. We need intelligence on the enemy's weaknesses before we strike. Lieutenant. Lee stepped forward. What are your orders, Colonel? Park looked at the faces around her. The last hope of humanity. Super soldiers created for this very moment. Her voice was steady as she gave the command that would begin Earth's fight for survival. Prepare for war. The abandoned research facility beneath Jeju Island had been built inside a dormant volcano. It made a perfect base for the awakened soldiers. Deep underground, safe from alien detection, the Phoenix forces gathered their strength. Major Song studied the holographic map of Earth. Red dots marked enemy strongholds, while blue dots showed the locations of Phoenix bases. After 3 weeks of careful communication, they had confirmed 18 bases worldwide with over 4,000 active super soldiers. The Orions have established major command centers in what used to be Beijing, New York, and Cairo, Song explained to the team leaders. Their ships patrol regular routes. They don't expect resistance. Colonel Park entered the command center. The soldiers stood straighter in her presence. In just 3 weeks, she had united the scattered Phoenix forces into a single fighting unit. Report, she ordered. Our scouts have returned from Seoul, Major Song said. The aliens are building massive structures there. They appear to be atmospheric processors. Park frowned. Show me. The hologram shifted to display images taken by Phoenix scouts. Towering machines reached toward the sky, emitting a greenish gas. They're making Earth more like their homeworld, Song explained. The air is becoming toxic to humans. We have perhaps 10 months before the change is complete. Park turned to Technician Choi, who was analyzing alien technology. Any progress on their systems? Choi nodded eagerly. Yes, Colonel. The Orions use a hive mind for communication. All their soldiers connect to a central intelligence. It's their strength, but also their weakness. Explain, Park said. Choi brought up a diagram showing wave patterns. Their neural network operates on specific frequencies. We've developed a device that can disrupt this frequency. In testing, it confused captured alien tech for nearly 3 minutes. The room filled with excited whispers. 3 minutes could be enough time to strike. We need more than disruption, Park said. We need weapons. Sergeant Yoon stepped forward. My team has located 3 hidden military bunkers that the aliens missed. They contain experimental weapons designed to fight the Orions. Park remembered. Those weapons. Before the Phoenix program, Earth had prepared conventional defenses against possible alien threats. Those weapons had failed to save humanity, but in the hands of enhanced soldiers they might work differently. Bring them here, Park ordered. And I want teams sent to all major research facilities. Gather everything useful. Lieutenant Lee approached with a tablet. Colonel, we've analyzed our physical capabilities. The genetic enhancements have evolved during stasis. We're stronger than designed. Park had noticed this herself. Her reflexes were faster, her strength greater, and her mind processed information more quickly than before. All Phoenix soldiers showed similar improvements. The extended sleep somehow activated dormant aspects of our modification, Lee explained. We heal faster and can even survive brief exposure to the altered atmosphere. This was unexpected but welcome news. Park turned to address all team leaders. For 3 weeks, we've watched and learned, she said. The enemy thinks they've won. They're transforming our planet, believing no one remains to stop them. They're wrong. She zoomed in on the map to show a remote Orion outpost. We strike here first. A small facility with minimal defenses. We'll test our weapons and tactics. Park assigned teams and outlined the mission. The soldiers listened intently, faces determined. Remember, Park said, we're not just fighting for revenge. We're fighting for Earth's future. If we succeed, we can use preserved human DNA to bring our species back. Dr. Bayek had been quiet until now. As the head medical officer, he oversaw the stored genetic material. The DNA banks are intact, he confirmed. If we can reclaim Earth, humanity can rise again. As the meeting ended, Park pulled Major Song aside. I need you to lead a special mission. The aliens have a primary communications hub in Old Tokyo. I want eyes on it. Song nodded. I'll take our best scouts. What are we looking for? Their central command structure, Park replied. Find their weakness. Later that night, Park stood alone in her quarters, looking at an old photograph of Earth taken from space, a blue and green jewel against the darkness. This was what they fought for. A home worth saving. She touched her chest where a small capsule had been implanted before stasis. Each Phoenix soldier carried one, a backup of human genetic material, preserved in case all other samples were lost. They were the seeds of humanity's rebirth. Park put the photograph away and returned to planning. The real war was about to begin. Dawn broke over the ruins of Busan. The once busy port city now stood silent, alien structures rising from the rubble like strange metal trees. Captain Kang and her team moved through abandoned streets, their enhanced bodies allowing them to move quickly and quietly, despite carrying heavy equipment. In position, Kang whispered into her comm. She crouched behind a collapsed building, watching the alien facility. The structure pulsed with blue light, its strange architecture unlike anything human engineers would design. Heat signatures confirm 20 Orion soldiers inside, reported Officer Jin, studying his scanner. Their patrol pattern is consistent. Every 7 minutes, there's a 30-second gap in their security sweep. Kang nodded. Perfect. Across the globe, 20 other Phoenix teams reported similar positions near different Orion outposts. This coordinated first strike had been planned for weeks. Each target was small but important: communication relays, supply depots, and monitoring stations. Colonel Park's voice came through all comms. All teams check in. One by one, the strike teams confirmed readiness. Kang's team would be the first to move, testing the new sonic disruptor technology. Team Kang, you have green light, Park said. Execute. Kang signaled her team. They moved forward silently, using the ruins as cover. The Phoenix soldiers wore special suits that masked their heat signatures and blocked the altered atmosphere. Each carried weapons recovered from military bunkers, plasma rifles designed to penetrate alien armor. They reached the facility's outer wall without detection. Kang placed a small device against the wall and activated it. The sonic disruptor emitted no sound humans could hear, but it targeted the specific frequency used by the Orion hive mind. Disruptor active, she reported. Counting down. Inside the facility, chaos erupted. Through special cameras, Kang watched as alien soldiers clutched their heads, their movements becoming uncoordinated. The hive mind connection that guided them had been temporarily severed. Move in, Kang ordered. Her team breached the facility with precision. The confused aliens offered little resistance. Within 2 minutes, they had secured the main control room. Uploading data now, reported Tech Specialist Juan, connecting to the alien computer. I've got access to their local network. Similar reports came in from other teams worldwide. The first strike was succeeding beyond expectations. The Orions, cut off from their collective intelligence, couldn't coordinate a defense. Download complete, Juan announced. This includes communication protocols, security codes, and... He paused, eyes widening. Colonel, they have detailed maps of underground resources. They're mining something. Send everything, Park ordered from headquarters. Plant the charges and withdraw. Kang's team placed explosives throughout the facility. As they prepared to leave, Officer Jin called out a warning. Movement outside, new signatures approaching. Through the windows, Kang saw strange vehicles moving toward the facility. They're responding faster than expected. The disruption must be wearing off. Time to extraction point? She asked. 3 minutes, Jin replied. Those vehicles will be here in 2. Kang made a quick decision. Trigger the charges now, we'll use the confusion to escape. Her team rushed to the back exit as the first explosions rocked the building. The alien vehicles accelerated, but they were too late. The facility erupted in flames as Kang's team disappeared into the ruins. Team Kang clear, she reported once. They reached safe distance. Facility destroyed, but the Orions responded quicker than anticipated. Similar reports came in from other teams. Most had succeeded, but 2 teams faced heavy resistance. One team was still unaccounted for. Back at Awoke, Jeju headquarters, Colonel Park studied the incoming data. The disruptors worked, but not for as long as we hoped. They're already adapting. Lieutenant Lee analyzed the downloaded information. Their mining operations explain a lot. They're extracting rare minerals from deep within Earth's crust. For what purpose? Park asked. Based on these schematics, they're building something massive in orbit, Lee replied. Some kind of superstructure. Park turned to Communication Officer Bay. Any word from Team Ryu? Bay shook her head. Still nothing, Colonel. The mission had been a success overall, but at a cost. And the enemy was adapting faster than expected. Later that day, as Captain Kang's team returned to base, they received new intelligence from scouts. Orion ships were moving in new patterns. Security at remaining outposts had doubled. They're confused, Park told her officers. They don't understand who attacked them or how we knew their weaknesses, but they're learning. What's our next move? Kang asked. Park brought up a hologram of an Orion command ship hovering over what used to be Tokyo. We now have their security codes and communication protocols. It's time for Phase 2. The super soldiers gathered around the hologram, faces determined. The first strike had proven they could hurt the enemy. Now they needed to press their advantage, before the Orions discovered who they were fighting. The real war, Park said, has just begun. Colonel Park stood on the bridge of the captured Orion ship, looking down at Earth through the massive viewport. After 6 months of fighting, this moment felt unreal. The enemy mothership, once the symbol of alien dominance, now served as the Phoenix Force's command center. Status report, she ordered, her voice calm despite the tension in the air. Lieutenant, Lee approached with a tablet. All teams in position, Colonel. The virus is ready for deployment. Park nodded. The plan was bold, perhaps too bold. But after studying the Orion network for months, they had discovered a critical weakness in the aliens' hive mind. Their collective intelligence could be overloaded if enough conflicting information flooded the system at once. The Orions have called for reinforcements, reported Communications Officer Bay. Their distress signal indicates arrival in approximately 12 hours. Time was running out. This would be humanity's only chance. Park opened a channel to all Phoenix teams. This is Colonel Park. Today we fight not just for revenge but for Earth's future. Execute Operation Revival. Across the globe, Phoenix soldiers activated devices that tapped into the Orion communication network. Each device uploaded a specially designed virus, a cascade of contradictory commands and false data. On the mothership's monitors, Park watched as confusion spread through the alien forces. Orion ships collided in orbit. Ground troops turned on each other. The hive mind that had made them so effective was now their greatest vulnerability. It's working, Lee said, unable to hide his excitement. But the victory was not yet complete. The Orion Central Intelligence, housed in a massive structure that once was Geneva, began to adapt. They're isolating infected systems, warned tech specialist Juan. The Central Intelligence is trying to purge the virus. Park had anticipated this. Launch Phase 2. In orbit above Geneva, a smaller captured Orion ship piloted by Captain Kang began its descent. On board was a modified version of the virus, designed to be delivered directly to the Central Intelligence. We've lost contact with Captain Kang's ship, reported Officer Bay, her voice tight with worry. Park watched the ship disappear into the clouds above Geneva. Kang and her team knew this was likely a one-way mission. The future of Earth depended on their success. Minutes passed in tense silence. Then the monitor showed a massive energy surge from Geneva. The Central Intelligence is attempting a system-wide reset, Juan reported. It's trying to re-establish control. Park gripped the command console. Keep pushing. Don't let up. Suddenly, all Orion systems went dark. Ships hung motionless in space. Ground forces stood frozen. For a moment, it seemed like time itself had stopped. Then the Geneva facility erupted in a blinding explosion. Captain Kang, Lee whispered. The sacrifice was not in vain. Across Earth, Orion forces collapsed without their central guidance. The virus had succeeded beyond their hopes, destroying not just the connection but the intelligence itself. All Phoenix teams report, Park ordered. Status updates flooded in. The Orion forces were in disarray worldwide. Without their hive mind, the aliens were confused and disorganized. The Phoenix soldiers, with their superior training and enhanced abilities, were cutting through the remaining resistance with ease. Colonel, called Dr. Beck from the science station. I'm detecting changes in atmospheric composition. The terraforming process is reversing. The death of the Central Intelligence had halted the atmospheric conversion. Earth would heal, given time. 3 days later, the last major Orion stronghold fell. The alien reinforcements, receiving no response to their signals, remained at the edge of the solar system, unwilling to approach a planet that had somehow defeated their advance force. Park stood on a hill overlooking what once was Sol. The alien structures were being dismantled. Phoenix engineers had repurposed Orion technology to begin cleaning the atmosphere. Colonel, Dr. Beck approached, his face showing rare emotion. I have something to show you. In a protected laboratory beneath their Jeju base, Dr. Beck led Park to a special chamber. Inside, floating in a nutrient solution, was a tiny human embryo. The first of the new generation, Dr. Beck explained, created from preserved DNA. In 9 months, the first post-invasion human will be born. Park placed her hand against the chamber glass. After everything they had lost, this small life represented hope. We should send a message, suggested Lieutenant Lee. To any other aliens who might consider Earth an easy target, Park agreed. Using the captured mothership's powerful transmission system, they broadcast across the galaxy. To all who would threaten Earth, we are its guardians. We do not sleep. We do not forgive. Approach at your peril. On the bridge, Park looked once more at their healing planet. The blue was returning to the skies. Plants were growing again in areas where the alien influence had been removed. Earth was not dead. It was transforming once more, this time back to life. And its children, both the enhanced Phoenix soldiers and the new humans to come, would ensure it remained free. In that moment, Park allowed herself to feel something she had not felt since awakening: hope.